Alright guys, Ed here, top of the line training. Out doing some turkey hunting, but you're only allowed to hunt till noon. So since that's over, I thought I'd do a quick or an intense video, if you will, on the Delta Whiskey Backcountry by Doug Wilson. Doug Wilson designed the knife. Mike Wallaced built the knife. And it's really an awesome knife. Doug Wilson designed this Delta Whiskey Backcountry, and it came into production probably about 4 or 5 months ago. Right away I ordered one. I knew I wanted one, and so far it's done nothing but perform. But I'm out here today. I'm going to put this to hard use test. I've cut down trees, small trees with it. It does feather sticking, of course, splitting. I mean, is there any doubt that it won't perform? But we're going to see how close it does, how good it does in finer tasks as well as larger. I don't have any game to skin with it, or I would, just to see how it performs. You don't necessarily always going to skin something with this big a knife, but it would perform with that belly. You get up into that hide and skin it out really well. Also, what I have here is the baldric system, or the baldric carry system, as well as a dangler as well. Now I can remove this if I want to and just carry it baldric, or I can remove the sling and just carry it on the dangler system. I could have had a tech lock put here so I could carry it on the waist, but I opted not to get the tech lock, mainly because I wanted a full-size Altoids tin, and there's many things you can do with this. I'm probably going to make a fishing fire kit slash water purification kit out of it. I'm not going to put a ton of things in here. You know, maybe a few items here or there, and I'll get back to that later. I have not done that yet, but it is a full-size Altoids tin, and it's really, those are left to your imagination. You can put all kind of stuff in it, but my main thing was fire, fishing, and water purification. I can make char cloth in it. If I had to, I guess I could boil water in it. If I had to, it'd be a long process, but anyway. I have my Rick Lindsay ferro rod on the front, 6-inch. This will last probably my lifetime, more than likely. You know, enough said really about that, but Rick Lindsay, his ferro rods are, you know, renowned. I opted to get the Crow, but he can make any kind of design or whatever you want. On the front, again, I have a pouch. At this time frame, I'm carrying the Leatherman Surge with the file and sharpener in the back here. But with the Leatherman Surge, I really don't need to say much. Number one, it's top quality. Number two, it's got 2 blades on it. It's got another saw on it, or it has a saw on it, small saw. It has scissors. It has, of course, the pliers, the cutters, the other screwdrivers and whatnot. And I may look into modifying those, possibly maybe making a hook knife on one of them or something like that. But anyway, this is my system. I wanted to have this so, like, if I'm in camp, I can put this thing on, get my firearm if I want, if that's what I'm doing, and go out on a scout, go out on a hunt even, maybe with a couple other things in my pockets, like a Mylar blanket or something. A very minimal kit, really. I'm going to put this thing to the test. It's not this is the field test. It's not going to be the first test of this. I went ahead and did an out-of-the-box review. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. But I'm going to do a number of field tests with this whole system, and that includes the ferro rod, which I'm, you know, go ahead and bet my life that it will perform. But anyway, but I want to really work on this blade and see what it can do. So stay with me. We'll get this field test rolling. This is Ed, top of line training. See what it can do here with the splitting. I mean, there's no doubt this is going to split, right? I mean, I could probably split this with a mower. So we know it batons. Let's look at this. Maybe do a couple feather sticks here. I've already done a couple, but let's just do it on camera. Get that choke up choil. Here, I'm not an expert at all at feather sticking, but I can make enough to get a fire going. And this right here is working very well. Very well. Let's see if we can get some chopping going here. Log cabin notch here. This Tula poplar, I mean, it's not real hard, of course, but yeah, it's working. No problem, fits in. Choking up on using the choil. It's what it's for. Works very well. What I want to do with the Delta Whiskey Backcountry is test the ferro rod striking on it. No doubt in my mind it's going to work, but I just want to show, and if there's any doubts, we're going to dispel right now. But the coating still is on this ferro rod. I've never used it. It's a beautiful ferro rod by Rick Lindsay. Guys, if you have not got a ferro rod from Rick Lindsay, I highly recommend it. You can customize, get your own handle made, whatever you want. Like I said, I selected a crow. I like crows for a lot of different reasons. But the coating still is on here, so maybe it might not spark right away until I get down to the, I already seen some sparks there. But so here we go. We got sparks rolling. I like doing the pump method, like so. Other people select other ways. I do it both. I've done it both ways, whatever. Main thing is get the fire rolling. But you can see, definitely. Ooh. I won't burn my damn lens up, right? Anyway, definitely works on the ferro rod. Alright guys, Ed back with you, top of line training. Going through the Delta Whiskey Backcountry field test. This is the first field test. I've done an out of the box review. So far everything is right on. Feather sticks, chopping, splitting, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this up into a point. The finger choil here really serves a purpose, and it really works. It helps control the blade on finer tasks, you know. But anyway, this thing is razor sharp still. Of course, this is just Tula poplar bark, but I've been chopping a lot. I've been splitting. You saw that. making the feather sticks and whatnot. So, you know, this thing is holding its edge real good, as you would expect from the super steel of CPM3V. I get tongue-tied on that every damn time. CPM3V. But anyway, you can just see this thing shaves like a razor. So, you know, make yourself a steak for the vampire, steak for the tent, whatnot. Pummel, no doubt about it. You know, really nice, really nice. Just checking my surroundings here. I'm not in my normal area. All right, guys, Ed back with you, top of line training. I'm gonna see if I can chop this tree down. See what happens. Delta Whiskey Bravo tree chopping. I want to make sure that you can see this well, so stay with me. You can see there. Watch this. That thing sink in there. Of course, that's soft wood. I don't know what it is, like a fruit wood or something. Get over here. Now, just got to watch here that I don't something fall in the camera. I just wanted you to see some of these swings here. I'm gonna move my camera. All right, guys, Ed back with you, top of line training. As you can see, this tree's coming down. Here it comes. I gotta move my timber. All right, guys, they're back with the top of line training. Just witnessed the Delta Whiskey Backcountry cutting down a tree. I mean, that's not a real big tree, but that's big enough. I mean, you could use that as a brace, you know, whatever you can do with it, whatever you want to make with it. Pretty good sized tree. I mean, this thing just proved itself again, definitely as a chopper, but just proved itself again as a all-around blade. So like if you had an axe, if you had your Baco saw in your pack, had this on your side, you got your Leatherman, as I do, or some other small knife, you could actually do quite a bit. I mean, this definitely, I didn't choke down on the handle or anything. I stayed right here, although you could do so. And we'll chop this up and see what we can do with it. What I'm just showing that this thing can do a lot. All right, here we go. All right, part of the tree off. I could use this as a door entrance, part of the lean-to, part of the cabin, whatever. I could also chop this up But I just want to demonstrate something real quick on self-defense with this knife. I hardly swung that. Now, in knife fighting, part of techniques of the knife defense are something called snipe cuts, and that comes from the Bowie fighting system, or the Bowie fighting, however you want to pronounce it. But Jim Bowie, or Bowie, one thing he would do is snipe cuts. So like if a punch or something is coming in, bam, you would hit it and cut it. And the momentum, plus the momentum of the knife and the weight of the knife, is going to sink in. And I don't need to explain what kind of devastation that would do to someone's arm. But it's not just in the Bowie or Bowie knife fighting. It also, let me see if I can get this sucker out of here. It's also in many knife fighting forms. Just boom, hold it up there. It's really in sword fighting. You hold it up there, and or you can just hold it with a brace, and their momentum goes into the blade. I demonstrated that with the barong, the serrated barong, where I come up, I block here. This is a block. Okay, now think about that arm momentum coming at me. Boom, right away. He, you know, when he's doing this, boom, that's coming in, that's coming in. Let me do that again back here. There's the hit. Ah, right. Boom, right away. Boom, cut. Block, cut, thrust, right? Block, slash, thrust, whatever. There's many, many techniques off of that. But here. What is this? This is a cut to the arm, cut to the ribs, or as you were, stomach area, thrust into the ribs. Whatever, there's many techniques. But this knife would definitely be a great self-defense. I always throw a little bit of self-defense, knife fighting notes in there. One way or the other. Any knife, you can fight with any knife. But this here is so big and nice. Boom, right in to the thrust, to the face, to the throat, to the chest area, you know, right away. Here it is. You can also bury right in here. Punch is coming in, I'm coming right in. Boom, cut, thrust, cut. Anyway, it's not necessarily self-defense or knife fighting video. It's just the capabilities of the Delta Whiskey Backcountry. Badass blade. Mike Wallace did a hell of a job, as all. I'm not even surprised, okay? If you don't own a Mike Wallace knife, guys, you need to call Mike, get on his website, whatever, get a hold of him and tell him you want one of his blades. All of them. I got the Spear 1, the Bowie, the Delta Whiskey Backcountry, and a little necker, and they're all are really, really made top of the line. No pun intended. Just, man, just, I can't tell you the feel, the balance, the quality. I believe this is a partial saber grind here. It's still razor sharp. I'm going to demonstrate slicing off this little limb here. Figure that being a finger or a thumb grabbing hold of you, or a wrist. That wasn't even a balanced hit, you know. Here, I'm going to cut down here so I can get a better slice. The weight of it, with my momentum and power, took it off. So, no doubt, guys, that this knife will perform in many ways. It is a bushcraft knife. It was designed for that. So I don't want to get off into the self-defense or the knife fighting realm with it, but I'm just showing that. I always show that it can be done. All right, guys, that's back with the top of the line training. Like I said, I do want to do a complete review of the whole system And I have, but I want to do it sort of in use now. One thing, Doug Wilson designed the Delta Whiskey Backcountry. In fact, it stands for Doug Wilson Backcountry Knife. Basically is what it stands for, or that's what it does stand for. The thumb ramp I've used here feels really good. It's not over aggressive, if you will. It's very good on the thumb. It doesn't really hurt the thumb. Here again, like so, you know, just depends. Definitely a huge, big time chopper. You can cut with it as well. I've demonstrated the feather sticking, the sharpening of a steak as well. Cutting limbs, cutting different things. You know, there's no doubt it's going to cut cordage and whatnot. Designed by Doug Wilson. Custom kydex made by Doug Wilson as well. Listen, you know that click. There's no rattle. The only thing rattling is that nothing. It's all in the sling. But again, I carry it in the baldric fashion. You can disconnect here. Doug has been showing this with Chris Tanner's, I believe his name's Chris Tanner, Prepare Mine, with his Jessica X. You can carry it like this, and this also comes from the single point carrying a rifle type setup as well. So you can carry it like so if you want, deploy, whatever. One other point I will show later is the bearing block. I believe he calls it the pyro block, maybe, I'm not sure. Mike Wallaced does. But anyway, that's on there as well, so you can do a bow drill fire with it. And this would be the bearing block. I can't say enough about this, guys. This thing is badass. It really, the kydex sheath, the Yellowhawk custom kydex, look at it, man, look at this. It's got this pouch on it, and I could put anything I want in here. I could put a smaller knife and cordage. I could put, I don't know, whatever, all kind of shit in there. But I chose just to put the Leatherman Surge. Like I said, I got the Altoids 10. It's got multiple carryways. I could have went with a small 10 and then put the tech lock on the side, so I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 main carry methods, and then so out of that 2 baldric carry, 2 or 3 with the tech lock, and 1 with the tabby dangler or the dangler. So you have a lot of versatility on how you want to carry this thing. Anyway, I think that's enough said for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. As well, make sure you leave me some comments on this Delta Whiskey Backcountry. This is field test number 1, okay? There's going to be more to follow. So make sure you stay tuned for those. And if you're not a subscriber, please make sure you subscribe. That way you'll know whenever the next field test comes out. All right, guys. Till the next one. This is Ed. Top of the line training. God bless. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.